Everyone wants to know why every single trader is moving to futures, and I have joined the bandwagon. From now on, I'm only a futures trader. And here's one of the issues. A lot of traders, for some reason, they say, oh, I moved from Forex to futures. That doesn't make any sense. You do know that there are Forex and futures. You simply moved from Forex to indices and you're using futures. That's really what people mean. And the same thing is for me. I just moved from Forex. I used to trade euro dollar and pound dollar. I still trade once in a while, very rarely. And I've now moved straight into trading NASDAQ. It's the only thing that I trade on a daily basis. And there's very simple reasons for it. But first, let me address everyone that says, oh, I'm switching from Forex to futures. Just understand, futures is not what you're thinking. Futures are not indices. Futures are literally what the market is based on. What you're saying is you changed from CFDs, which is synthetics, into futures, which is the real price of something. So for example, if you're trading SHAO, the broker or the prop firm that you are using is simply mimicking the price on the futures contract of gold, which is GC. If you're trading euro dollar, your CFD broker, your CFD prop firm is just mimicking what the futures contract of 6E is doing. Or pound dollar 6B, or NASDAQ, which is US 100 or NAS 100 on whatever broker you're using, it's NQ. But getting that out of the way, I find it always so funny. There's three reasons as to why I decided to move to indices. One of them is time, the other is risk reward, and the third one is probably one of the most important ones. So talking about time first, I think it's very obvious that NASDAQ moves when the stock market opens. Obviously, there's going to be times in which NASDAQ is going to move a little bit before or during London session. But most of the time, you can predict that the market is going to move when the stock market opens. And I love that predictability. Why? Because that means that the only thing I have to do as a trader is prepare myself for the stock market open and trade the stock market open on NASDAQ instead of Forex, where I have to think about London session because the market could move during London session. What about Asia session? Maybe it moves during Asia session. What about late New York session? Maybe it moves during late New York session. And this volatility and unpredictability is one of the things that I never really liked about Forex. I made great profits over a long period of time with Forex, but once I started only focusing on futures, this is when my stress levels really came down and my profits pretty much stayed the same, which takes me to time to risk to reward. So I'm making the same money, if not more, on futures, on indices, than I am on Forex. So less time, more predictable, more money. Those ratios never make sense for you to trade Forex. If you have the time to trade NASDAQ at stock market open for plus or minus 2 hours, it never takes me more than 2 hours to trade NASDAQ on a specific day, then it's perfect. It's predictable, it has great risk to rewards, and you don't have to be staring at the charts for the whole day. When you go to sleep, you don't need to ask yourself, whoa, what if the market moves 500 handles? Because you know that at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, when the opening bell comes, volatility will be there. And there's something that I absolutely loved about indices. On Forex, typically a profitable trade would take me between 4 hours and 2 days, while on indices, it takes me about 45 minutes or less. And so I have more trades, I have less FOMO, I have a higher risk to reward, and I know exactly when the market is going to move. And just these things that don't count the third big thing that I'm going to talk about just made the move to NASDAQ an absolute no-brainer. Before the last one, there's traders that are probably watching this that don't know if now they should stick to Forex. Here's the thing. If you are able to trade the 9:30 a.m. open, let's say on the 5-minute chart, then I think NASDAQ is perfect for you. You are going to love it. You're going to have amazing results. Everyone that joins Funded Trading Blueprint, usually after 90 days, they're funded, especially because we guarantee that you will be funded in 90 days. But they also see very quick progression because there's way more repetition, because it's so much more predictable times and it gives you more entries. But there's traders who join Funded Trading Blueprint and they're like, Kimmel, I can't trade the 9:30 a.m. open. And that's why I also say, listen, Forex has a place for traders to trade. You can trade currencies on the 1 hour chart, on the 15-minute chart, and still have great results. I made so much money trading Forex, especially when I was trading the 15-minute and the 1 hour chart. And so if you don't have the time to trade NASDAQ on a lower time frame, such as the 5-minute, I personally execute on the 1 minute or 5-minute. But if you don't have the time to do that, that's fine. There's always a way to execute on FX and make great profits. And this is something that I preach inside of Funded Trading Blueprint. If someone doesn't want to trade indices, they can simply make great profits trading FX. And now this takes me to my last point, which is scalability. Scalability not only in the amount of time that I can do this for, and also the amount of money that I can make. So for example, when I know that the market is going to move at this time, it's going to provide these entries, and it's either going to be a win or it's going to be a loss. But I know consistently that the market moves at this time and there's not a lot of variables, then I'm very willing to put way more size than on Forex. It reduces your emotions because it's predictable. It reduces your emotions because it has way less variables, and therefore is so much more scalable. So much more scalable for your life and for your risk. So you can put more size because it has reduced the variables, and you can also do it for longer. If I would have to tell you, okay, listen, for the rest of your life, every single hour you have to check the market for 10 minutes every single day for 16 hours a day, versus you have to trade for 1 hour every day, one market. What would you choose? You would obviously choose the second option of trading for 1 hour a day, focused, and then you go about your day. You go be with your family, you go be with your kids, you go do your job, whatever it is. It's way more scalable. And this is why I've understood that traders are making so much more progress in indices just because so many variables are removed. And that is basically the reason as to why I fully moved to indices or futures, whatever people want to call it. I said futures in the title just because that's what people are saying, but it's stupid. That's not really true. And yeah, with that being said, let me know what you think of it in the comment section. Let me know if you have the same experience as me. I know a lot of traders that had switched to futures and then like that they became profitable. Inside of Funded Trading Blueprint, we teach futures, we teach FX, and we guarantee that you will get funded in futures in just 90 days. And so with that, hope you all enjoyed. If you want to master the direction of the market, mastertradingdirection.com, and I'll see you in the next one.